Welcome back to The Wolf and the Melody. My name's Tommy, and today we are checking out Nomy with the song "Flowers in Your Hair." Um, One of my best friends sent this to me, and he said, "Hey man, I really think you enjoyed it. It's heavy, in a heavy emotional sense, and just be warned, it talks about I believe like religious oppression and whatever." And so before we start this, I want you to know that despite if I believe something that you don't believe in or vice versa, I just want to grow in harmony with people. I don't care what you believe in. As long as you're a decent human being that adds to society and the enrichment of yourself and your neighbor, and you're not shoving your stuff down other people's throats, hey, you know what I mean? And we're kind to each other. I don't need a God to be kind. I don't need a God to love people. I don't need somebody telling me, that's where our morality comes in and our own humanity, treating people the way we want to be treated. And so I wanted to say that before we get this going, because just for it says here the following may contain graphic or so. I don't know what we are walking into, and I do have the lyrics ready because I really want to read them after the video. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, welcome in. I wanted to build a place where people who love music are safe. We could talk about life, we could talk about music, we could talk about anything. I want you to know that you are seen and you are heard and that you are valuable. Life is crazy, but we can encourage each other. We can come together and cheer each other on, and that's what I want to do. So thank you for being here. Thank you for taking time, and yeah. All right, let's go. I understand it. Damn, another warning. All right, y'all, you've been warned. Literally.
So here you are with flowers in your hair, holding hands and give yourself away. All your gods will finally walk the earth, is what they say, but you will be okay. Little one, lying on the stairway. Why doesn't anybody let you in? You gotta pray every day to be loved by all of your gods. All the words in your book and heaven's gonna open, and maybe God is gonna let you in. You gotta pray every day to be loved by all of your gods. All of your. So here you are with flowers in your hair, holding hands and give yourself away. All your gods will finally walk the earth, is what they say, but you will be okay. There's no sadness in your eyes, there's a lie you keep inside, walking with shadows. All we do is to survive. We believe that we can fly. We're dead tomorrow. Little one, lying on the stairway. Why doesn't anybody let you in? You gotta pray every day to be loved by all of your gods. Tell the words in your book and heaven's gonna open, and maybe God is gonna let you in. You gotta pray every day to be loved by all of your. So here you are with flowers in your hair, holding hands and give yourself away.
This is like, I have two major thoughts. The first part of like the song and the way it's going, like, I, it was a lot of self reflection because I was, I was that kid who, I so like desperately wanted to know God growing up in a Christian household. It wasn't about, oh, it's right or wrong. There was a part of me instilled that like longed for this intimacy with this deity, and there was a genuine hunger for affection. And I remember I was very devout. I was really devout for almost 20 years. I was a missionary. I I lived overseas when I was 20 years old, for over a year. I traveled for the faith. I even preached, and no one knows the nights where I would sit up and I would beg God to. I didn't want to follow God because of what he could do for me, based on like what Christians say in the Bible. I followed God because I really wanted to know him. And I would stay up for hours, countless nights over the span of 20 years, on my face. I would do these ridiculous things where I would like get on my face in the middle of my room and sit there for my face pressed against the ground, thinking that how fucking low can I get my face so that maybe you'll see my devotion. Um, how far do I gotta press my cheek up against the ground for you to speak? I did ridiculous rituals and shit. That's what they were, in the hopes of moving the God's heart towards me. I remember one night I was running, and there was this park near the apartment complex that I lived in, over by the soccer field. There was this crazy fog over the field, and I'm running, and like in my brain I go, maybe God's in the fog. And I remember running down to this like soccer field in the middle of the night, running into this fog, and like getting on my hands and knees, thinking, well, people in the Bible did shit like this, like, and God spoke to them, God moved, touched them, and whatever, that he would do that for me. I didn't want to follow God for him to do things for me. I really wanted to have a relationship. And I look back at my life over these years, I wouldn't do things. I would have parts of my life, like my intuition would say, don't do this, man, don't do this. But I'd be like, well, faith, you know, we don't walk by how we feel, we walk by faith. And I would do things based on faith. And it ended up being some of the worst decisions of my life. But I did it from a heart that wanted to be accepted. Yeah. And I have no issues with people that are that believe this, as long as you're, like I said, a decent human being and you're not shoving it down my throat. I have friends that are, and I love them. But when it comes to myself, I have this heavy anger towards religion, not people, religion. And and to those who would use it as a weapon for control and to lead a society in a regime of follow this or not or you die. And the second part is, and the song transitioned over to like war and wars that are fought based on religion and who suffers. And I'm sitting there seeing this, like you and I are both watching this, and I have two children, and there are people in this world that long for war. There are people in America. They want civil war to break out, and they want blood to flow in the streets. And who's going to suffer? And I imagine my children who are innocent. We have to find a way to live in harmony with each other and for the betterment of ourselves and our fellow man, our fellow neighbor, without, if you knock on my door or there's an accident outside my door and you're laying there in your blood and I walk up to you because I go to help you and I go, what do you believe? And you go, well, I believe this. And I go, oh, I don't believe that. And I walk away from you. And I mean, that's essentially like, especially with like like a lot of Christianity, like sending Bibles over to countries with starving children. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we did shit like that. You have somebody that you're sitting there talking to that is literally on the verge of life and death, and we tell them, well, hey, you know, read this and you'll find your answers. Instead of providing them with a meal, providing them with some form of comfort, something that is substantial to them. This is a heavy song, dude. And there's a lot of people that are struggling. When I look back, when I made the choice of realizing that I don't want to follow a religious path, um, I felt such peace, and I felt such just. I remember the night. I remember where I was, where I just said, "Enough. I can't keep doing this." And I felt this like burden fall off of me, and I felt like I could breathe. I felt excited for my life. And that's just me. No one can tell you what to believe. No one can tell you what to follow. And I won't do that. If you want to believe this, like I said, go ahead. Just don't be fucking evil. And there's a lot of people that follow religions that are evil. Religions that are supposedly meant for good, you know. And there's a lot of people that, like, when I looked back at like how severely depressed I was and the anxiety that I struggled with when I started to really deep dive into my personality, the things that I've been through that have lingered, I trauma, I guess. I I started to realize that a lot of my pain, my depression, my anxiety all stemmed from religion. I wanted to please God. So I was never good enough. And then when God wouldn't speak or whatever, I was, I wasn't as, I didn't have enough faith, or I wasn't doing enough to receive his love. And a lot, and it tore my heart open, tore my soul open. All I wanted was to have this relationship, and a relationship. Like, if I'm a father and I have my child, do you think I'm going to ignore them? You think when they speak to me, I'm just going to go, you got to have more faith if you want to hear me speak. I'm going to speak to my child. I'm going to comfort my child. I'm going to love my child. And that is not God for me personally. But if you are able to have gotten to a place in your faith where it's very the opposite of my experience, I'm very happy for you, truly. But just be sensitive that not everybody has had that. This is a heavy topic, y'all, and I never want people to feel unsafe in this community. All are really welcomed. When I speak on these topics, they're very just my experiences. And if you've had the opposite experiences, I'm happy. I truly am. But anyway, this was a tough one. Guys, I do love you. And I truly only want the best for all of you. I want you all to grow and thrive, become the best versions of yourself. I want to see you experience success in all areas, emotional, spiritually, financially. I want to see you do great things, and I want to see you love yourself. And I want to see you help your neighbor. Truly. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram. If you're going to send me hate because I don't believe what you believe, and somehow you completely misread or mishear everything that I say in here and think that I'm spouting hate because you believe something, fuck off. I don't need it. I won't read it. I know people that have genuine connections or genuine questions or whatever. Absolutely, I'd love to have a conversation. Um, I speak from my experience. I'm not gonna debate. I'm not going to get in arguments. I speak from my experience and what I have seen. So, if you have some kind of ill intent or whatever, fuck off politely. All right. Um, but truly, I care about you guys, and if you're really going through some things and you're really struggling, please reach out and just know that somehow you're going to be okay. Take it one day at a time, one step at a time. Direction is better than speed. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry for this. This is a touchy video, and I'm sorry if somehow like you get uncomfortable with this. I don't mean to, but this is music, and music is expression. So, thank you for being here. Stay lovely, stay metal, and until next time, we'll be back with another reaction.